and downtime and stuff like that fixed, and the admin account set up. And then maybe I can get those tissues and other things I was asking for as well. When do you think you'll be in? Prepared this big. I really like the red. It gives Dracula like a whole new vibe. Alright, I need pizza. Pizza time. I want some pizza, so I'm making pizza. Pizza. I think it's the last one I'm playing. Sorry. I want to play and like I want to stream and stuff, but like I don't want to like sit here and like murder myself for this shit, you know? Yeah, I hope so. You got me, gal. Good attempt. I really appreciate you. Oh, you don't have to get down for me. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, so close. Did you end up liking the episode?
You have little time left. join me.
Oh, he really didn't like me. I'll let you get the Mori. I won't abandon. You can have it. You can have my K. You can have my kill. You can have my K. You can have my K. Wait, that sounds like I'm saying you can have my ketamine. I'm sober. You can't have any K. But you can have my kill. My brain's weird. Okay, let's put this pizza in the oven. I'll be right back, okay? It's a pizza. It's my emotional support pizza. My friend doesn't like me anymore. I'm slightly dramatic. It's probably fine. Okay, let's put this pizza in the oven. Pizza in the oven. Pizza in the oven. You should watch Heated Rivalry. You're not looking. thinks they hate each other, but ironically, they're like they actually love each other. But it's during like the 90s or 80s. It's actually based off of a true story because Matthew and Nick remember this story. There was a person who came out as gay. Yes, but there was a person who came out as gay in the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it reminds me of this story because basically there's two guys who won't come out. And then it's so funny because it's actually based off of a book, and the book is now just as popular as Twilight and Harry Potter was, but like it's a gay series, so I'm kind of obsessed with that because all of the girls have seen it. Like it was on the Grammys. Like the guys were like talking about it, and that's how I like ended up falling into it because I was like, oh, I didn't realize. What's really interesting is it shows you how hard it is to be in a relationship that's supposed to be, you're not supposed to be in a relationship like that, and it shows how much it hurts emotionally and mentally to be stuck between loving someone and you not believing that that's good. And it's even worse because in Fellow Travelers, it's the 50s, it's illegal, and the one guy's Catholic. So he's sitting there like he like hates himself because he's like, I'm going to fucking hell. So I think he would like Fellow Travelers a lot because of that.
Yeah.
But ironically, Heated Rivalry might have a little too many sexy scenes for you to watch, but I really liked it. It was really good. Plus, the two guys are really hot. Like, I mean, no.
Oh god, so good. Start watching it now so that we can finally hear organize what you out. I mean, it's on Sunday. It's been a while since I watched something where I just like really wanted to. There's a lot of sex involved and a lot of work and stuff like that, but it was really good.
Yeah, that's kind of like how Heated Rivalry is, but I love it so much. It's basically like, it shows what it's like to be in a relationship that, one, you're not allowed to be in, two, you hate yourself for, three, it shows you what it's like to be in an unhealthy relationship that becomes healthy. Like, because basically the one is very avoidant and the other one's like really likes him and is like, what the fuck? And then he ends up being like, wait a second, I don't want to be gay. And then he ends up dating someone who's super famous because he's a famous hockey player himself. He like literally has like an ad with Armani and an ad with like Rolex and like he's fucking famous. They're both fucking famous. So one's Russian though, and the other one is French Canadian, so he can speak French and English. It's kind of iconic. And he's more like me, where he's more emotional and more like the not girl in the relationship, but he's the one that's not avoidant. He's not the one that's walking away. He's the one who's like, I want you type deal. And it's adorable, but he also hates himself and then ends up being in a relationship, and the girl ends up being like, I think that you're gay. And he's like super offended by it, but it's not inaccurate. And she's like, and I love you anyway, and I think we should be friends. And then she's like, they talk about the relationship and how she's like, have you ever been with a boy before? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, was it better? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, I think that matters. Like, and he was like, yeah. And then I don't know, it was really cute. And she basically like helped him realize that like he shouldn't do this, like, and that she shouldn't waste her time, and like she wasn't mad or anything. And I was like, wow, if Stephanie or Tori did something like that to Matthew, they would have saved everyone so much time. They really would have. Not that like it's their responsibility, because it's not, and like they're not fucking psychic, but if they did find out and they did have any inkling, if they just had that conversation and said, I don't think we can keep trying, keep faking it, I think it really would have like allowed them to be themselves without ever having to cross a line they probably would have never crossed if they weren't told that they can't have that relationship. So I think if Matthew ever became a cheater or ever was one, I think it would literally be just because of the fact that he had to hide so many parts of himself during so many like important parts of his life when he was a child, like, and then only ever be able to be himself when he's like talking to someone who is friends with me, and he has to use that as like a, I mean, I'm not trying to like vouch for him or like say that was right, but I do understand it, and it makes it a lot easier to understand when I see like how other people feel during that stuff, because I was just always honest. I couldn't lie. it was obvious. Like, I tied a yellow T-shirt to my head and was like cack-a-lacking with my cowboy boots on the marble table to Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. Like, so, I mean, I was literally line dancing like I was a fucking cowgirl. Like, so. But I don't know. I think it's funny because they both hated themselves for it. One of them they're in Russia. It's illegal in Russia. So like in this movie, it is illegal for one of the people, not for both of them. But in this show, it's on HBO Max if you have it. It's really good. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you're a straight woman. I'm a gay man. Like, I mean, if I'm attracted to it, you're probably attracted to it. We both like guys. That's one thing. But it was funny because it wasn't too much, and a lot of the girls watched it. And the funny thing is that they said at the Oscars or Golden Globes or whatever, they said, I know a lot of you haven't watched it, but I know your moms and your sisters have. And it's true because it's funny because it's kind of like the new version of 50 Shades of Grey, but instead of it being, oh, you're not supposed to do that, or oh, it's bad, blah, 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 like, ooh, like, taboo, like, ooh, in a relationship, ooh, like, and it's, I'm reading sex in public, ooh, instead it's, like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, it's almost like they realized, like, how hard it was for men and how much, like, it really wasn't that big of a deal for them to have beards, like, because it was literally fucking illegal. They could literally lose everything of their life if anyone found out. So, like, that's why those things existed. Nowadays, it doesn't make sense. But back then, you'd be dead if you didn't have one. Like, you would be in jail. You would, like, and then there's also different classifications for profiles back then. You could get, rounded up into having to do get drafted and stuff into war just because they don't like you, just because you're gay or just because you're black, just because you're a minority. And they showed that in the show. I love that they showed that. And they showed that if you're under investigation, then you're basically going to be put on the front line, like, so you're shot first. Isn't that fucked up? And then, like, also the gay communities and black communities were mandated by the U.S. Department of Health back in, like, the 80s and 90s not to treat gonorrhea and syphilis. So not only were we dealing with AIDS and HIV back then, but we were also dealing with our brains melting from not getting the syphilis ever treated. And they still, to this day, say allocate your resources for drug addicts and gays and blacks. That's our own U.S. Department of Health. And then the CIA peddled crack and cocaine into urban communities. The black communities asked when segregation was no longer a thing, and then they shot Martin Luther King and Malcolm X because they were organizing the poor. And so that's why they brought drugs from the war in Nicaragua. And these are declassified documents. It's proof. It's from the CIA themselves. They're saying that they did this. And they went ahead and brought those drugs into those communities. And then when they made synthetic meth is synthetic crack cocaine, they brought it into the gay communities because they saw how successful it was. And they did the same thing when AIDS was transitioning from it being a gay disorder or gay disease to be more of a black disease. That's when they brought the drugs into the gay community, so that way it could, like, kick them down the same way it did when they did that in the 80s or the 70s for the black community. It's so fucked up. They're like, oh, dominoes. And then people act like they don't come for us. I'm sorry, they do. It's not just the governing agencies coming for our literal ability to get our health treated, but it's also the governing agencies giving us literally the opposite of the resources that we need in order to be successful. They're literally giving drugs to this community. That's crazy. That's insane. And then people turn around and say that they're not doing anything to us. Yes, they are. There's proof, and they've even said it.
Your 18-year-old self, what would be 3 things you would tell, 3 words you would give yourself?
3 words or 3 things of advice?
You are looking 3 words. What would you say?
I'd just say I love you. The only thing
I'm going to put that on my Facebook. I'm going to say, okay, you're 18 years old. What do you tell your future self?
Well, what I would tell my future self is there's going to be a lot of times where you are disrespected and people take advantage of you, but that doesn't define your worth. Unlike a $20 bill that can be ripped in half, spit on, and torn and thrown on the ground, your worth isn't defined by the material world, but by the opposite, by the spirit world and the emotions that you make people feel and the love that you resonate with them and the vibrations that you emit. That is what's important, not what is in between someone's legs or whether or not they got an extra chromosome in the third trimester. That does not matter to me. Love is love, and everybody who loves people is going to heaven, and everybody that hates people is going to be reborn and come to earth and have to relive life again. And that's why there's old souls who are assholes, and there's old souls who are nice, and then there's baby souls who are assholes who are stuck here, who are really mad because they aren't learning anything. They're not taking any time to learn anything. And that's why it's frustrating to have people you love, because that's what we're here for, is to lift up people who are maybe who used to be our parent in a past life, but now they're our children in this life because maybe we've learned more since they were our parent in a past life. I think these things are important. I think it's important to recognize that we're all one spirit having multiple human experiences. And I think it's really important to recognize that, so that way, what better way to show how much you love yourself than to be kind to every person you interact with? If everybody is you, if you are all one spirit having multiple human experiences, what better way than to show yourself love than to show everyone else love, or show everyone love by showing yourself love? Whether it's you struggle with loving yourself or vice versa, either way, that quote and saying can have a lot of impact. But also too, you always have to put your higher power first, in the same way. Like, it's kind of like, in my head, you have to put what comes into your life. Like, you come into this life alone, so you have to put yourself first before any physical human that is right now. But then you also have to put every human you came in contact with since. So in my opinion, your mother has to come next because you were in her womb, and then your father has to come next because he was probably the first person to hold you, and then everybody else who was there for you for your birth, and then continuing on in how they interact. I literally just said your mother would be. I just said your mother would be first because you were in her womb. Hello? Yeah, I'd be the first to hold you other than your mother. Your mother's already first. Why would I have to say that? But my point is it's also important based off of who's your parent, who was there the longest during those years too. Like, if you have like a stepdad and they were there the longest, it doesn't matter. I think that it's all are tied together based off of our interactions and based off of those things. I also think it's really important to recognize that our trauma is what into an image, so that way we can be perfect enough to be an old enough soul to be really painful. I think that God is, when we say we are loving God and lifting God up higher, I think we all those things. Like God, so we are so pure that we just be absorbed in the spirit, and we become the guiding knowledge and the guiding waves, an ocean that pushes everything into where it needs to be. And that is the laws of attraction. It is our old ancestors. So when people say things like measure and mirror, I literally just I reach out into the ether with my tachyon energy, and I ask nature, the universe expanding. I think, what is the thing I'm supposed to do? What am I supposed to grab? Like Ollivander in the wand store, grabbing Harry's wand, I literally just end up picking out exactly what is perfect, because I'm not asking myself my will. I'm asking what is the will of the universe. What is the will of something higher and bigger than me? And then that way I can be able to have the capacity to get the actual esoteric knowledge that I wouldn't have access to otherwise, because I'm literally getting it from love, from not wanting to hurt someone, from wanting to do the best for someone, for wanting to do the best that I could do while he was sitting in my chair. It's literally the definition of love, literally the definition of light, literally the definition of making things better than how you find them. And that is why it works every single time. So I would say to my previous self to never let that go, even though it's going to be the hardest thing to keep, because physically can't do things. Or slight and your weaknesses into your superpowers, because that's exactly what they always are every single time for every human. And it shows that in the Bible even. That's why I think these people look at the small things instead of the bigger picture. The bigger picture for a lot of these stories are everyone has their own gift God's given them. And we are all different parts of the body, but the body's all important. And just because you're a freaking pinky toenail doesn't mean you're not important. Like, you're still important. Like, but like, or just because you're the arm that does all the work doesn't mean that you're the most important. Like, there's so many things that like matter, and like if you didn't have blood pumping in your body, you wouldn't have that arm moving. If you didn't have a heart, that arm wouldn't have power to supply the blood. If you didn't have, like, everything matters and everyone matters, and we should never ever value someone less because of where they are on the body or where they were born on the body, or just because they're blood and they travel throughout the body. We should never, ever, ever, ever care or judge someone just because we don't know where they've been or where they came from, because we don't know what goes on inside someone's head or what they go home to. We don't know what safety looks like for them. We don't know if safety is actually what safety is. So we don't know if they have anything to pull from. We don't know if they have any good to pull from. Then we should always treat them like they don't have any good to pull from. We should always treat them, if we have a full cup, we should always pour out at least a third of our cup into anyone whose cup is empty. Always. If there is someone with nothing, we don't sit there and say, well, we're all hungry. We sit there and we say, they have nothing on their plate and everybody else does. Here is some of my food. These would be the things that I would say to myself. How about you? What would you say?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I need to think about it a little longer.
Yeah, I think it's important.
On it.
I feel like if you ask questions, you have to be able to answer the question yourself too before you ask it, in order to fully understand why.
I know. I mean,
No. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, in order to fully know why you're even asking it, because there's a reason.
No, exactly. Because I saw it on Facebook.
Oh.
So it made me
I thought there was like a deep esoteric reason, like because of this and that.
I saw it and I was like, that's a really good question.
No, that is a good question.
Then I was like, ooh, I wonder what I would say.
I like prompts like that because I can talk forever about prompts like that. It makes me really happy.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. All right, pumpkin pie. Well, why don't you call me tomorrow? And we'll see what you're doing.
Cool. Sounds like a plan. I love you, bunchies.
All right, love you. Love you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, I'm saving that because that was pretty good. Save recent gameplay. I'm gonna say the last 15, last 5, last